Gentlemen, dames and herren, mesdames et messieurs, welcome to another installment of the Vincent Charles Project. I'm glad that you're with me here on this wonderful Sunday evening. And I know that the majority of you are probably watching football or sport ball, as I like to call it. And yeah, I'm not one of those people. And neither are my guests. With me tonight are the inimitable Ordnance J. Packard. Ordy, how are you doing?
I am well. You know what? It's fall. Every leaf has changed. It looks like it's not like Ohio and Pennsylvania where we smug fuckers use every color in the crayon box, but it's fire. So I'm enjoying it.
It's flame. Nature's flame. Kind of like volcanoes. And say hello to our other guest. Again, inimitable. Miss Janelle Waz. How are you doing, Janelle?
Doing all right here. I am not fond of the fall weather, but it's a lovely 52 degrees outside, so I can't complain.
52 degrees.
Traffic and
was
weather on the
60
streets
earlier.
on TaylorOnRadio.com.
Okay, I'm saying 52 degrees, and I'm expecting, like look at the thermometer on my phone, and expect it to be colder, and it's not. It's actually 56 here. But I'm old. The cold affects me differently.
Yeah, it's 64 here. I was out washing the car.
Okay. Because you're obviously a bastard. But
California dreaming and all that.
But I digest. Anyway, we had settled on the subject of the show tonight as basically nerddom and science fiction and how we feel about the subject and how we feel about being nerds and what turned us into nerds. And well, both of you, go off, start talking, tell us when and how it happened.
Ladies first.
Thanks, Ordy.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
I don't know. It probably started because of my older brother and sister. They were geeks, themselves. My brother, always liked sci-fi. My sister was a big Babylon 5 fan back in the day. Probably for me, it started when I played Echo the Dolphin on the Sega Genesis, and that's probably why I'm still obsessed with sci-fi and dolphins to this day. And then also the Star Trek: The Next Generation Genesis game, another gateway drug into Star Trek, and I actually hadn't watched the show for like years and years and years. Probably like 8th grade was when I watched my first full episode of Next Gen. Unification, great episode.
Ooh.
And it took a couple more years after that, and then eventually, Star Trek was streaming. I went through a couple of episodes, and then H&I, the Heroes and Icons channel, they started, playing the original series, Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise back to back, and that's how I picked up, the rest of Trek.
Sweet.
And also, I'm a Star Wars fan. Went through Stargate SG-1 in Atlantis. I should say I stopped at season 9 of SG-1 and like season 5 of Atlantis. So, but a little bit of Stargate too. So. Well, wasn't there season 5 of Atlantis or? Yeah,
I think that was it. Yeah, season 5. Yeah, that was the end of the show because MGM went bankrupt.
Oh, okay. Or I should say like the beginning of season 5 because I couldn't take it anymore. It got to be like those soap operas where they're just throwing in like all like the plot twists and everything. It got too much and I couldn't take it. But now I'm just rambling. So I think the nail in the coffin was when Replowir was like found in the wreckage after like being blown up how many times, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Goj, you made it! Gojira76 is a buddy of mine. So welcome.
Gojira! Welcome.
Nice.
Hang on. Because, I don't know if you can hear that, but yes, I am pouring yet another glass of wine because tonight is brought to you by the Coppola Vineyards.
I'm just sipping on my tea here.
Brought to you by Ernest and Julio Gallo.
Makers of Thunderbird. They won't tell you that, but yeah, Ernest and Julio Gallo make Thunderbird.
Well, of course they do. You got to do something with the dregs of the fat. That's why Coors makes Keystone.
And Zelda's with us. Zelda, hello.
Welcome in.
Welcome all. So I guess with
And
me,
Raptor
it was
and Deadeye,
Yeah.
all you, welcome in.
and KLRN Radio and yeah.
Ah, yes.
And simply
So with
everybody.
me, I think it started with, I mean, when I was in elementary school was kind of like the heyday of the rebirth of sci-fi. You had Buck Rogers, you had the original series, Star Trek, the original series on in heavy syndication. The local, my cartoon channel, KTVU Channel 2 out of San Francisco when I was growing up, they had Star Blazers and also you're reading The Hobbit, and I was like 6 when Star Wars: A New Hope came out, so it was just slow drip into my veins. You had In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy doing the conspiratainment,
And you had
just
William Shatner doing the Promise commercials on television. Yeah.
all that, but to top it all off, you had Salvage One,
Oh, dude,
which
I
if
knew
you're,
you were going to bring that up.
I can't
knew
not
it.
bring
I
that.
knew it.
That was just for those of you who don't know.
I was going to
Andy
say,
Griffith
please
was in-
tell the audience.
Okay, Andy Griffith did a show. It was like 1 season, maybe 2
What?
seasons. It was in the like when all the energy about the space shuttle launching was coming in, the Apollo missions just ended, and dude runs a junkyard, and he's all, I want to go into space and collect all the junk that gets left up there and come back to Earth and sell it. So that's literally like one of the quotes from the show. So he builds a rocket out of like the mixer from he owns a junkyard. So it's like the mixer from a cement truck and just all these mishmash parts. And he goes into space and salvages defunct satellites and helps NASA out with stranded astronauts. And it's just fucking fantastic. He gets a test pilot and he's got a real rocket scientist chick on the show. It's just, it's just good, clean fun.
This sounds like the greatest thing ever.
It really, you can get all the episodes are on YouTube.
Nice.
So, yeah. No, it was a fantastic show. And it should have lasted 10 seasons.
Instead, we get 10 seasons of Matlock.
Yeah.
Right? See what they took from us, America?
I'm not familiar with your case, but I watched half an
the body of
episode
Andy
Matlock.
Griffith and do make the show again. What's that?
Oh, wait, 9 seasons of Matlock.
Yeah. Matlock!
Matlock!
I'm old. I hate everything but Matlock.
The Matlock Memorial Freeway. That was one of the best Sideshow Bob episodes. Oh, dude. Yeah, we're
They're
going to
all
throw
good.
some Simpsons in there, people. So.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about you, Mr. Charles?
How about me? Well, being that I'm only 4 years older than you, Ordy, I came up in that same age. I mean, Star Trek was heavy in. Oh, good. Yeah, you're missing Matlock. Go, brother. Go. Knock yourself out. Thanks for coming by. But, Star Trek was in heavy syndication. And also there were a lot of Jerry Anderson shows because, I grew up in the New York area. And a lot of the shows in syndication, they had Thunderbirds, the show about its International Rescue, which I still watch to this day, and it's fucking amazing. They had Space 1999.
Now that you mentioned it, Thunderbirds was on KTVU too as well. Also, they'd syndicate the old Godzilla.
Yeah, the coolest thing about Thunderbirds, though, I think that the second episode, they had an episode where Lady Penelope is riding on a train, and these guys are like conspiring to kidnap her, and they show a room inside the train, and they had actual tiny little accurate miniature liquor bottles. They had like they had fucking like Martell cognac, and they had fucking Jim Beam whiskey and all that stuff, and they were tiny and extremely detailed. But the one thing that really, really weirded me out was they had Corningware set up in the shelves. They had little pots, and they had a coffee pot sitting on the desk, and I was like, that's friggin' amazing. But
That's going
the
deep
one
for
show
detail.
that really tripped my trigger that I loved to death was UFO, and I don't know if either of you have seen that.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah,
Again, you can find all of the episodes on YouTube. It was streaming
hot
on,
purple hair chick, plural.
yeah. Say, is it streaming anywhere? I don't believe it is. But yeah, they're all on YouTube. But yeah, with the whole moon base and the purple-haired women and the interceptors and the weird aliens who had to breathe liquid and all that stuff. It was to a 9-year-old kid. This was like, and my dad's sitting behind me in the chair. I'm like 2 inches away from the TV. I look back, and my dad could not be less interested in what's going on the TV. And he's just looking at me. He's like, "What the fuck have I birthed here?" he's watching shit like this. He should be playing with the football I bought him. Even back then, I wasn't all that keen on sports ball. But,
There is no way you have come from my loins.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it was kind of like that. I disappointed my father in a great many ways, but I think that was probably the biggest one. But-
Well, I was gonna say, if it makes you feel any better, my dad tells me when Santa Claus Conquers the Martians came out, he made his older sister take him to the theater to see it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know if she'll ever forgive me for that."
Oh my god!
I've only seen bits of it from like
Oh,
Mystery Science Theater.
No, you have to watch it. It is so amazingly bad. It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a
Hey,
classic.
there's a guy in a polar bear suit running around out here.
Oh, I did the same thing to my older sister, except it wasn't Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. What one was it? It was Godzilla's Revenge.
Oh, I
And
haven't heard of that one.
that was like the one where the kid, he like gets lost in his imagination and he pretends he goes to Monster Island, and
What?
it is truly fucking abhorrent. It is the worst Godzilla film ever made. And I basically kicked and screamed and threw a tantrum, and my mother said, "Take him to the goddamn movie." So my sister took me, and I don't think she ever forgave me for that either.
Oh, All Monsters Attack. I've heard that
Yeah,
name.
that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
That's the that's the proper title of it. But the American release, it was called Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was a horrible dub. They had Minya, the son of Godzilla. He sounded like Barney Fife. He had this weird Southern accent. It was fucking horrible.
Oh, the early days of localization.
I mean, I insist on watching Godzilla movies in the original Japanese, but
Yeah.
You know the absolute worst. What I remember being the worst dubbed anything ever was Ultraman.
I can understand that, but I've watched some movies recently. I don't know if any of you guys get a MHZ on Prime. It's one of the channels, and they show mostly French television and films and stuff like that. And hang on, let's there we go. I like to change up the captions, but yeah, they have a series of films called Murder In, and then they put a city at the end of it, and it's all like police procedurals. You have like Murder in Bordeaux and Murder in Marseille and all that stuff, and it's different cops solving different cases and stuff like that, and it's generally like a 90-minute film, and there's like 12 seasons of it, and there's like 10 movies per season, so you won't be able to binge watch it in 1 week. But they just started putting out dubbed versions of these, and they did the first 3 seasons, and oh dear God. Oh, I do not know who they hired, but these people should not be working at all.
There's just some things you don't dub. French, anything, and Swedish porn.
Yeah, that. But
That's
no, I saw a version of La Cage aux Folles that was dubbed, and it was actually really good. The actors did a really good job on it. Well, I thought anyway. But yeah,
relatively speaking.
yeah, compared
Correct.
to most dubs that you hear, yeah, no. So I will always go with the original language and subtitles if I don't know the language.
Yeah. Let's see.
I love
Gojira.
subtitles anyway. I'll watch a movie with white subtitles in snow. I don't care.
I was
I'm
gonna
a
say.
wild man. You can't stop me.
I was gonna say. Gojira said, "My dad sat me down to watch The Three Stooges, and nearly lost it when I complained the TV was broken because there was no color."
Yeah, that's understandable. I'd probably do the same
Yeah.
thing.
I know.
You know, we bought Three Stooges DVDs like years ago, and you could either pick in color or black and white. I always pick black and white.
Oh,
You have
absolutely.
to.
Yeah, I
That's the
remember.
same thing with Keystone or early Gilligan's Island, or that
Yeah.
was the one thing with TBS. Because when I was growing up, TBS was just starting to come online. That was when Ted Turner decided he wanted to spend all of his money and just make a whole bunch of TV stations and see what stuck.
Mm.
And TBS, that was the best of all syndications because they had Gilligan's Island, they had Andy Griffith, they had the Munsters, the Addams Family, and everything. So you could get it's I was
And the cool thing
indoctrinated.
about it is they offset everything by 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
you didn't have to worry about not being home exactly on time. You could run upstairs and
yeah.
still catch it because it started at 5 after.
Hmm.
Which is funny. That's a habit that we ironically started doing on KLRN radio because of Sam. We would always start 5 minutes late because she'd always be getting her
Late.
shit together.
Yeah.
So every show after that was 5 minutes late.
Well, damn, I need to start doing that then.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this
Don't
will
be
be
so
the
hot to
last.
push that button.
This will be the last episode that will start on time. Next week we're going 5 minutes in.
There we go. As a nod to Ted Turner, you crazy old bastard.
And yeah, JG says the first year of Gilligan in black and white was a different vibe than the next 2 years. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a completely different show. And then like that Mystery Science Theater line, it's like, what is this all the rest crap?
So
Yeah.
here we are.
Indeed.
Indeed.
But yeah, like I said, I was heavily into UFO, and when Space 1999 came out, then it was like, holy shit, because they did it right. They premiered it, and then they did like the whole toy blitz, and they had the weird stun guns and the little comlink thingies that could be used both to talk to your friends and to open doors, which really didn't make any sense, but yeah.
It's the future. It's not
They're
meant to make sense.
it's the future, and they're British, so hey. But and they had the spaceships, the Eagle transporters, and they sold this huge one. I swear to God, it was like 2 feet
Yeah,
long.
I
And
remember that too. A friend of mine
yeah,
had it, and I was
oh,
like, and so I had to get the Millennium Falcon to blow it up. And the big GI Joe F-14 Tomcat.
Oh, dude.
But it's funny you mentioned Space 1999. I remember, I distinctly remember watching it. It was in syndication, and they broke into it to announce John Lennon was shot, and I had never been so mad because you interrupted my sci-fi.
Exactly.
Oof.
Damn you, Mark David Chapman.
And if it sounds cold and callous that he's saying that, it's true. We did feel that way.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
when world-making events happened and they interrupted TV shows back then to tell you about it, because we didn't have the internet back then. When they told you that
We
something
barely had
happened,
VCRs.
we were incensed, and sometimes they would like preempt the rest of the show to carry on with their news coverage.
Yeah.
So I've got Walter Cronkite telling me about some shit that happened in a place I can't even pronounce, and I'm like, oh, you motherfucker! I am missing the rest of my show for this, and I won't be able to see it again until the reruns. So
Which you never know when those are going to be,
Ooh,
yeah, exactly.
because they just may decide to not rerun that one.
Because they're obviously bastards. That's why.
Yes.
Why do I want to say that Firefly got preempted a couple of times?
because it may well have been.
It could have. There
Yeah.
was a lot going on
Because
around that
it
time.
was when Firefly came out, that was like right at the cusp of the internet being the huge overwhelming thing it is today. I mean,
Yeah.
back then it was still like like BBS message boards and shit like that, and you could occasionally you had to wait for dial up America Online and all that
Yeah.
shit.
Welcome.
And I suppose
No,
all of
but
that, I suppose all those like break-ins are out the window now with like streaming and
Yeah.
also the
Oh
internet.
yeah. They mean a little
Era
pop-up may come
definitely.
up. Hey, yeah.
Firefly was just scheduled via dartboard. Fox gave zero fucks. Yes, absolutely. That was
Yeah,
that was a show that I don't want to say it could have went on forever, but I could have seen at least 2 more seasons out of it.
Firefly was done dirty in every way possible.
Oh, absolutely.
The pilot was shown out of order. It was the first and last episode, or like close to the last one. The last 2 episodes weren't aired. It was the promos for it were for a space comedy. So nobody knew what the fuck it was about,
Right.
because they would just use all the funny bits in the promos, and yeah, the scheduling was like, how does this even make sense?
Yeah. And like I went through Firefly a couple years ago, and when it ended, I was like, okay, I wasn't devastated like a lot of people were. But I'm like, yeah, this really should have gone on for at least a couple more seasons. It was a good premise, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a great show, but see, the thing, I went at it backwards. I saw Serenity first before I actually watched the show,
Oh wow.
and I saw Serenity. I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. Holy shit, this is a really good movie. And the entire concept of it, the way they executed everything, and the end, because I didn't realize that the ending, spoilers, Wash dies and Shepherd Book dies,
Yeah.
and it didn't have the emotional impact, because I didn't see the show. I didn't become familiar with these characters. And that didn't happen until I actually watched the show, and then it was like, oh shit, that's a bit of a gut kick, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Hell of a thing when
still,
Book died.
oh man, that's because truth be, he was my favorite character. He was
Oh yeah, he was great.
to me.
And he was the
awesome.
only one that they never actually explored the depth behind his character. I mean, they have in comics afterwards, but that's after the fact,
Yeah.
But one of the things I was watching another YouTube reviewer. I'm sorry, there are other ones other than you.
What?
It's true. But what she had
I
pointed
can't
out, and
believe this.
I know YouTube is like just burgeoning and there isn't a lot of content on it, but there is somebody else who's already started stealing your shtick.
Son of a.
One thing that she pointed out, I mean, she's a film student, so obviously she would have. It
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
occur to me until after she said it, and then I looked at it, and then I started paying attention to the episode and said, "Holy shit, she's right." Every episode was done in a cinematic style. No 2 episodes were done exactly the same with the cinematic style. They would take classic tropes of film style and then use it how it matched the story. And as much as Joss is a fucking bastard, he is pretty good at what he does.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's a shitty human being. But Raptor, you need to watch it. You absolutely need to watch it.
Yeah, you have to. I just got
It's worth watching. Yeah.
curmudgeon to watch it. No, it's definitely worth you have to see what all the buzz is about.
Yeah.
Because
But yeah, I didn't watch. Oh
no, go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I didn't watch Serenity. I just read the Wikipedia page, and don't hurt me. But
No,
I
seriously,
watched Serenity.
you need to watch it.
I was curious what the whole, I'm like a leaf on the wind quote. So I hit YouTube and looked it up. And then Wash gets it, and I swear I spent the next 5 minutes saying, that is bull.
Yeah,
I just couldn't believe that's how they killed him off.
That's how reavers keep their harpoons clean. They run them through the wash.
No!
Okay.
Now,
Firefly
Firefly did convince me that Rogue One would have been a better film if it was the cast of Firefly. Because that would have been sweet.
No, I think Rogue One would have been a better film if they just had like 90% CGI Peter Cushing. Because he
With
was
the
the only
uncanny valley.
he was the
Right.
only thing in there that got my attention because
It's a
Peter
pretty meh
Cushing.
movie.
I was such a Peter Cushing fan growing up. Him and Christopher Lee and Vincent Price, all of those guys, just amazing
The
actors.
sad thing is that Rogue One is the best of the new Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's so depressing. I mean, come on, Force Awakens is just a New Hope. Well, hey, we'll make a chick at the star instead. It takes place on a desert planet. There's 2 suns. You mean Tatooine? Okay, fine. Yes, but still.
Well, that's basically what my dad said when he walked out of the theater was, yeah, I saw this movie in like 1977.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
make it lame and gay.
To do the old David Spade bit, I liked it the first time I saw it when it was called A New Hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Just about. But apparently, let's see. Goach just said the X-Files season premiere was preempted for the world's slowest car chase. Thanks, OJ.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Memories come flooding back.
X-Files was a good show. You know, X-Files did what I like that they did was they were one of the first, and Deep Space Nine perfected it.
Mm.
But with everything, it's episodic, but there are arcs within arcs in it too.
Yeah. Well, I never saw the X-Files, but
it was like Babylon 5, they went the other way where that was just like if you missed an episode, you had no fucking idea what was going on.
oof.
And but you had Babylon 5, the sci-fi doesn't hold, or the special effects don't hold up.
No,
but the writing
not
does.
at all. But the writing was absolutely amazing.
To the point that you can forgive the effects. And also there is no 5th season of Babylon 5. It doesn't exist.
You know, I have seasons 1 to 4 of Babylon 5 and like the movie collection.
And those are the only ones you should be watching.
Fair
Season
enough.
5, no. What's
if Marcus isn't in season 5, I don't care.
Yeah, Ivanova isn't in either, so yeah. No Claudia Christian, no peace.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, B5 was
I need to get back into B5.
Whenever it comes around on a streaming service that isn't a fast, I'll watch it, like when it gets back on Prime. But right now it's behind some paywall.
No, it's been on Tubi. You can watch it on Tubi.
It's on Tubi? Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
Absolutely.
Tubi I can tolerate because their ads are not obnoxious. Though I did have to take a break from Sanctuary because the political ads coming out of San Diego were so fucking obnoxious.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. I just actually I went ahead and I bit the bullet, and I'm paying for YouTube Premium to get rid
Honestly,
of the
I can't blame you.
Yeah, and the experience is so much better.
I was getting pretty pissed because I work to keep my YouTube channel apolitical. I don't want to get involved in like, current events and all that baloney. And then there's people, politicians I don't like talking on my YouTube channel, and I get the revenue for it, but I'm like, I don't want to see you on my channel,
Right.
I'll take your money, but get the hell out of here.
Basically.
So I'm glad that you avoided the Bell riots through the whole election.
Ooh, nice one. Nice one. Hey, that's deep lore for y'all.
I mean, yeah.
Cisco's line is like, you get on my nerves, and I don't like your hat.
Oh, the way Cisco lays into Dick Miller. Poor Dick Miller. I love Dick Miller.
Right.
Dick Miller was a legend, an acting legend. But the way he lays into him, and see, here's the thing.
You don't know what any of this means, do you?
Everybody can say, oh, Kirk was the better captain. Oh, Picard was the better captain. There's even an argument for Archer being the better captain. But no, to me, Sisko will always be the best captain. Not because, he was proficient, either, administratively or tactically, but the arguments and the yelling.
The diction.
Exactly, the diction. When he laid into you, oh my goodness. See, in real life, I've had my ass chewed out by a 3-star general. And I just stood there. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roger, sir. Got it, sir. But if Ben Sisko had chewed me out, I would be like a quivering pile of jelly on the floor because oh, the
If you've
best way
got
to
something to
explain it
say, then say it.
exactly, and
Just
he did the one key when I was doing acting in high school.
Mm.
I talked to a professional actor in Atlanta because my high school years I grew up in the Atlanta area, and he said the most important thing to remember when you're talking is to enunciate every vowel and consonant that ends every word. You don't have to do it in your real speech, but do it when you're performing. And oh Jesus, Avery Brooks does that. He
Yeah.
pronounces every
Yeah.
single syllable and consonant in the word, and his pacing, his timing is perfect.
Well, I think I read because I think Heroes and Icons did an article about it. Avery Brooks studied, I think, linguistics. So as soon as I read that, I'm like, okay, his performance in DS9 makes a hell of a lot more sense now. Just that perfect diction and pronunciation, and wow.
you know what really made DS9 though is that because okay, when they cast him, they were very afraid of everybody just seeing him be Hawk in space, right?
Right.
So with season 4, when he shaved his head and got the goatee, and I like
Yeah, when they promoted him to captain is when shit started
yeah.
ramping up.
Yeah, and the when he became Hawk in space, you could tell Avery Brooks felt more comfortable in his skin. He was like he said, "Okay, I've done the show for 3 years. I kind of have a good idea who Ben Sisko is." And then they said, "Oh, by the way, you can shave your head and grow the goatee back." He was like, "Fuck yeah!" So, and then
And the eyeglasses lowered down. Yeah.
right, so, but yeah, that's when I mean, yes, Keiko O'Brien started the Dominion War, but I watched that
Yes.
video last.
No, Jake Sisko started the Dominion War.
Well,
Well,
Keiko
if
assigned
Keiko,
the science project.
Okay.
yep,
All right, I'll give you that one. But
see,
seriously, if anyone in the audience hasn't watched Deep Space Nine, number one, you need to. But number two, in order to understand what we're talking about, go to YouTube and just type in Ben Sisko yelling, and
Yes.
that will send you to a 7.5 minute supercut.
Yes.
And it is basically every dressing down, every argument, every confrontational when he's talking to somebody. I mean, even when he's arguing with Odo during the baseball episode, every when he gets in somebody's face, yes, watch that supercut, and you will know why we are all basically in love with Ben Sisko.
He even got in Quark's face and was like whispering to him, and it was like he was yelling at him. Like it was
right.
fantastic.
And he was whispering to him like this.
You so much as litter on the promenade, and I will nail you to the wall.
Yeah, I do like the New Orleans French Kate Creole kind of tenor he put in his voice
Oh
too
yeah.
that Hawk didn't have. So you could very tell, oh yeah, Bayou, but
Well, that yeah,
educated Bayou.
because yeah, exactly, because of his family background, his father being who he was and where he was raised. So yeah, definitely. I mean,
But sure, that's not.
listening to Joseph Sisko walk around the restaurant telling everybody to try the pasta boudin. It'll put a smile on your face. They're like, yeah, I'd eat at Cisco's every goddamn night.
Oh, the
Absolutely.
actor. Why am I blanking on the actor for Joe Sisko?
Oh shit.
Crap.
Something.
Cartwright. His last name's Cartwright. I can't remember his first name.
Damn it, I'm looking it up.
I think, but yeah, he played the Wicked
Yeah,
Admiral in
Brock
Star Trek
Peters.
6.
That was
Brock
it.
Yeah,
Peters.
Brock
Okay,
Peters, yeah. Oh, by the way, Gojira, real quick, that's not true. A lot of DS9 episodes are standalone, but like I said, there are so many arcs in it that while you're watching an episode, you go, oh, okay, that was clever. There's a lot going on that you're like, well, that whatever that happened, which ties into the mini arc of the larger arc. It's layers. It's like an onion.
Yeah, I think the only real arc in Deep
It's
Space
like a
Nine.
Baduvian tapestry.
Yes, exactly. Oh, wow.
Goj, I'm sitting you down and we're watching DS9.
Yeah, but the only time you have that sort of effect, where if you think you're missing one episode, you miss everything else, is during the Dominion War arc. But that didn't happen until the 5th season, I believe,
Yeah, it's when it really like was in full swing.
when it really
Yeah.
kicked
Yeah.
off. Because they encountered
Yeah.
the Dominion far earlier than that when they came through the wormhole and they destroyed the Odyssey and all that. But when the war finally kicked off, that's when shit went into high gear.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the there's a thing where they wanted to have the Defiant or one of the ships of the Defiant class in First Contact and have it destroyed like around not quite at Wolf 359, but in the around they wanted to destroy the Defiant basically. So and Deep Space and the Deep Space Nine showrunner said no. So as a payback, they destroyed the Enterprise when they destroyed the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And that was a
We're
big.
breaking your toys. You're not breaking ours.
Exactly. That was a big. Oh my God! What the hell moment.
Yeah,
you're
that was
talking
huge because it's like
in the Jem'Hadar, the episode that I covered in
Yeah.
a video that took off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you see,
Like I said, that was a fun
yeah.
week when that video came out.
Suicide Run. Yeah, no problem. We got it. And just bam, warp core breach. Boom, done.
And then, I mean, the thing is, you just had 6 or 7 seasons of like where nothing can scratch the fucking Enterprise. Yeah, they'll shake the bridge a little bit, and
Yeah.
Riker will get thrown over something, and but it's and then it's back
Troy
next
breaks
week.
a nail.
Yeah, Troy breaks a nail, because she wasn't in the proper
Uniform. Yeah.
but
Edward Jellicoe was not wrong.
He
Jellicoe did
wasn't,
nothing
but I'm
wrong.
still mad.
Second best captain behind Cisco.
There you go. But when they destroyed the Odyssey, that was a game changer. That's hey, you know what? This is gonna get bloody. Shit's getting deep now.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
your first introduction to. I mean, yeah, you knew the Dominion was out there and Odo's people, the changelings. You had an idea that they were going somewhere with the Gamma Quadrant rather than just, hey, we've built this premise around a space station. Now let's go places. But then it was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, but you have to remember, and it's like to me, that's what differentiated it from other Star Trek shows. It's like, no, there's not always a happy ending, and there's not always going to be a rainbow, and everyone's going to get along, and there's going to be no money, and it'll be space communism, and everybody's happy. And the Jem'Hadar fly a suicide ship into the side of a Galaxy class ship and just totally fuck your day up. Yeah. Life is like that. Life is going to throw you a curveball, or life is going to throw a ship shaped like a bug at your engineering hull. But yeah, now you see how it works out. And I remember because I was watching that with my son, and my son was getting into the show in a big way. And he watched that, and he just looked at me. His jaw just dropped, and then he turned and looked at me. He's like, I'm like, yeah, life doesn't always turn out the way you want it to, boy.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Thanks, Jake Sisko Science Project.
Right.
He wanted to grow beans. Ben wouldn't
6
let him
billion
grow beans.
Fucking
6 billion
Keiko.
dead because of a science project.
Fucking Keiko and her kelp loaf and
then his best friend eventually loses a leg.
Oh, I'm gonna be roasting
Plankton
Keiko in my,
loaf.
I'm gonna be roasting Keiko in my Tuesday video.
Oh, you have to.
Like right at because I'm gonna be looking at the episode Cardassians with Rugal, the Cardassian war orphan. And I just get done complimenting Keiko.
Wait,
and
is that
I'm
when
like,
Garrick
son
gets
of a...
bitten? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, he introduces himself in like the creepiest way possible. What a handsome young man you have here.
Come on.
And then he got bit.
It's Garrick. Garrick is the greatest, the single greatest character in the history of any Star Trek show. Seriously.
He is.
he is absolutely amazing, and Andrew Robinson is an amazing actor for
Oh,
bringing
he
him to
is.
life.
Yeah.
You know what? I totally changed my mindset about Trek. I got laid up with a broken shoulder several years ago.
Hmm.
So I said, okay, 'cause I was a TNG fanboy at the time. And you know what? Okay. And I didn't have time for Deep Space Nine. I said, I'm going to sit down and watch every Trek made to date and objectively view them, objectively watch them. And, because everybody's talking about how good Deep Space Nine is. I just don't see it. And it changed my life. And I think it was really because it was like 20 years after the fact. And I'm watching Sacrifice of Angels and going, holy shit, the special effects still hold up.
Yeah.
And this is an amazing fucking episode. This is everything I ever wanted from TNG, and this is a 2-part episode, and they're doing it all the time.
Exactly. And the writing. Oh dear God, the writing.
Yeah.
And
I think they were considering at the end of Sacrifice of Angels killing off Garrick. They decided against it, and then they killed off Zial. But yeah, I just don't kill off Garrick. My God.
Well, but Garrick in the final season, though, I mean, and is kind of like being the Damar Whisperer.
Yeah.
And that if that hadn't happened, plus you would have missed half of the great Garrick and Quark interactions if they had killed him off then.
Yeah.
The Federation / root beer exchange.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's vile.
It's vile.
It's insidious.
The collar on Quark's shirt. Well, what do you want me to do? I don't know. Make it look good. Oh, well, if you'd only said that to begin with, I thought you wanted it to look bad.
It's always easier when the customer says what he wants.
Oh, dude. Oh, if I had a time machine, I would go back and say, do a Garrick and Quark spinoff.
Yes.
Just to have like a half-hour comedy bit with them. It's like
I bought a book.
Like Skinner and Chalmers.
I bought a book from the library because the library is selling like dollar books, and it was a Star Trek book, but it was Picard and Garrick. I haven't read it, but I imagine it's got to be amazing.
Oh my God, you could swim through the pretentiousness.
Oh, yeah,
you could just do a backstroke through it.
Man,
but okay, so in my review, Enterprise came in second, despite the theme song having lyrics, which, by the way, the original series had lyrics for Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry is a bastard, and he wanted fucking writer credit and royalties every time that song played.
Yeah.
But the thing that bugged me about Enterprise, and it wasn't the song. I mean, it was the fact that the writers apparently did not have the canonical Bible of what has happened at any point in Star Trek ever. I mean, we'll forget about view screens and everything else too, because they talk about how they didn't even have those. It's the fucking Grand Canyon being carved through Florida that is never mentioned again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That whole fucking Xindi arc. Although, admittedly, the show did get a lot better.
Well, the Xindi arc was great, except for that.
Yeah, except for Florida being bisected, basically.
Yeah,
but
basically.
Yeah, the entire writing for that series, just for that particular season, just jumped a level, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I may actually start watching this show." And at that point,
it's did they get Ronald D. Moore? Was that what happened?
Yeah, Ronald D. Moore, and Ronald D. Moore. If those of you are not familiar, producer, writer on Star Trek, various incarnations, and the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, which you also need to watch, which is probably I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek to death, but to me, BSG tops it.
But you're missing the best part of Enterprise, though. Shirtless Scott Bakula.
Oh God. I thought you were going to talk about the first episode in the decontamination room when they're rubbing each other down and you can see his boner.
Oh God,
space boner! You have to do an episode about space boner.
No, hey, yes. I run a family channel.
Okay, well you could do a Janelle Was After Dark. Or you could
even the poor dog.
I actually thought you were going to say Porthos, which was kind. I mean, I could see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Porthos is the
Oh,
second
dude,
best part.
talk about
Right?
speaking of Porthos, I'm gonna like really nerd out on you guys. A lot of you know that I play Star Trek Online, the basically air quotes World of Warcraft Star Trek game,
Yep.
and you can have pets, and there are various pets, and some people have actually unlocked the pit bull #1 from Star Trek Picard, which I
Eh.
was hoping to do, but yeah, because I like pit bulls. But
Oh,
I actually unlocked the mirror Porthos, and if you saw that Mirror
man.
Enterprise episode, yeah,
Was
he's a
that the
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, Maserati.
and
know what? That's
I
that's
unlocked
the
him
show
not
for-
only once, but I unlocked him twice. It was about 2
Nice.
weeks after, and I got another one through the exchange. They have this currency called Lobi, and you can use it to buy specific things. And for 20 Lobi, you can buy yourself a dog pet, but you open up and it's random. Sometimes you get a beagle, which is the original Porthos.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get like a normal pit bull, or you can get #1. And I ended up getting another Porthos, and I sold him on the exchange for I think 280 million credits,
Nice.
which was enough to buy 2 ships. So yeah, I love
Nice.
Porthos.
Is that when you bought the Circle K?
That poor dog. Even,
Yes,
that
as a
poor
matter of
dog
fact, I
was-
did.
that
That
poor
I
dog
showed
ended
it.
up in decon too.
I showed a picture. I posted a picture on Twitter
Yeah.
the other day of the Circle K. That was one of the ships.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got that. And which was the other one? I think the Dirty Judy Dench. Those are my pirate ships. Those aren't my Starfleet ships.
And they did the Orion's Justice on Enterprise too.
Yes, they did.
Oh yeah, towards the
yeah,
end of the show.
with Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno is the man. He's awesome. No matter what you put him in, Jesus Christ. He's like pushing 80, and he still looks like that.
Right.
Yeah, put him side by side.
Can't
with
get
Arnold.
away from the green, though, can he?
Arnold's looking
Vin,
horrible.
Does STO have the little horn dog from the OG Trek Mirror episode?
Yes, yes, they do.
Nice.
And I have one.
Nice.
Outstanding.
You can buy them in the Lobi store. Okay, the thing about Lobi is it's a specific type of currency which you can only get by unlocking boxes. And to do that, you're either going to have to spend money, which a lot of people do. I don't, because I think I've spent maybe $15 on this game since it launched back in 2015. For console, anyway. It's been around since 2010 on PC.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have the little dog from the that TOS episode. God, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, it's like a little poodle with horns and a weird tail. And yes, they have that.
Oh, that wasn't the the Enemy Within?
Yeah, the Enemy Within, where Kirk gets split
okay.
in a transport accident. Yes. And they have that dog in a variety of colors, but yes, it is definitely. And yeah, I'm gonna put that on
Nice.
there. Love it. Yeah, haha, I love it too. That's why I put your comment on there.
That dog's name, because I was looking up to see which episode it is, Alpha 117.
Alpha 117. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the box. The Alpha 117 K9.
I just hear the planet names and it's like goes right over my head.
Right.
I got as a Christmas gift like some years ago. It was the trivia game for the original series. And the questions are ridiculous. It's like, what planet did Kirk go in this episode? And I'm like, I don't know. I remember there was a hot chick in it.
There was a hot chick
he
in all of them.
went to Noral, and he felt a Mugato and got seduced by his best friend's wife
No.
before she was killed by Klingons. Yeah, I remember that episode.
Oh, that's Private Little War. Yeah.
It's
The planet of the bad wigs.
I think what we're going to have to do, because I know Ordy, we've been talking about with Ranker Steve doing a summer Texas or a summer Las Vegas episode where everybody gets together. I think
Right.
we're going to have to go to Chicago and
Oh no.
do a Trek episode or
Oh man.
a Trek weekend with Janelle.
Oh man.
Okay, but Okay, but we have to do Pale Moonlight if we do that.
Oh yeah,
That is
absolutely,
an excellent episode.
absolutely.
That
But
is the
we're gonna
whenever I
have
want
to.
to
What
introduce
we should
anybody.
do is we should poll everybody and pare down, pare away all of the dross and fluff episodes and everything. Just get the top 8 episodes for every particular show except for Picard and Discovery because those don't exist. But
Yeah, New Trek doesn't exist to me.
well,
Lower
no,
Decks especially doesn't exist.
New Trek exists for me because I play STO, and the Inquiry class starship is fucking amazing, and that's my flagship in my fleet. But other than that, yeah, New Trek, fuck that. We're just gonna do the basic shows, and we can get like top 5 episodes of each one, and then just go from there and let everybody
Okay,
poll.
I got to stop you right there. Inquiry class sounds very ominous.
It is. It's in the last episode of the first season of Picard. Just look it up. Inquiry class starship.
Sure. No, I'm,
Yes.
I'm sure there are like 100 YouTube videos about it already.
Yeah,
It's
and
not a bad look.
I know you'd be surprised, knowing that there are other Star Trek channels than your.
What?
yeah, but see, yeah, it's.
But I'm the best.
It's
You are.
Oh, absolutely. That goes without saying.
No, I'm having a blast digesting your content. It's
Oh,
good
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
See, you got to go
Hashtag
back
O'Brien
because
must
when we first started following each other, I was going back and I was looking at like her first YouTube things, and it's like, I hate to use the analogy because it's so, it's so overworked. Everybody uses it, but
Yeah.
it's like, watching a colt right after it's born when it tries to stand up.
Jeez.
And it's like really skittish and really wobbly, and it's trying to stand up, but its mother is like nudging it, and you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. I believe in you. And then she stands up, and it's like boom, awesome. And then after that, it's just been boom, boom, boom. And I
Oh,
love her
thank
fucking
you.
contact, and I
Yeah.
watch it. I your channel is the only channel on YouTube that I watch, that I follow, that I actually have content notifications for.
Oh, thank you.
So when the bell rings, I'm like, ooh, okay. Stop whatever I'm watching, which is usually something stupid. But
yeah.
no, I can't say
I
something
usually know it's
stupid
coming because
because,
I'll see it on her Twitter feed.
yeah, I can't
Actually,
say
I'm
something
back on
stupid
ordinance. I
because
have to call
I
next week.
just I found the director's version of Exorcist 3 on YouTube. And like the day after I found it on YouTube, they dropped it on fucking Tubi. I'm like, oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Oh, you bastards.
Oh, and for those of you who know me, Exorcist 3 is like one of my top 5 favorite movies. I love that fucking movie.
Season of the Witch. God damn.
No, that's Halloween.
Oh,
This
wait.
is Exorcist 3.
Wait, that's right. No,
With
no,
George
no, no.
C. Scott.
Okay, you're right.
He
Yeah,
is
say it this
inside with us. He will never get away. His pain won't end. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I raving?
Settle down, Pat.
Brad Dourif. Oh my God, best
Man.
character actor ever. I
Dude,
love him.
he's great in everything.
They killed him off too
Gojira, the
soon in
fish
Voyager.
monologue. Yes, the carp joke. Oh my God. Yes. Go to YouTube and look up Exorcist 3 Carp, and that will show you the carp joke in its entirety. And the comic timing of George C. Scott. He should have been a comedian instead of an actor. It was fucking amazing, because the first time I saw this, I was in the theater when I saw this movie, and this was back in 1990. And when he's actually sitting there, they go to him and his friend Father Dyer go to a movie, and they go to see It's a Wonderful Life. They get out, and he's like, I can't go home. He's like, why can't you go home? Because of the carp. And then he goes into the carp story. It is, oh my God, it is amazing. I was one of 3 people in the theater, and I was laughing hysterically because, yeah, it wasn't critically or financially successful, but people, 30 years later, people are saying it's like one of the best police procedurals. Actually, believe it or not, best police procedurals ever made. Psychological thrillers. And that's enough about that. Let's go back to Star Trek. Because technically we're supposed to close down in about 5 minutes, but I figure since the next show doesn't come on for another hour, we'll take another half hour.
That's fine.
So carry on, y'all. Keep talking.
Okay. Okay, I'm dropping the Uno card here. SG1. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Now, if there's anything I know more about than Deep Space Nine or Trek in general, it's SG1. I have a love affair with that show. I really do.
I only went through the show once, so I'm not an expert. But I remember, going through the show and just being like, man, there's a lot of Star Trek tropes. Just like a lot of like similar episode plots. I'm like, man.
But
Because like
okay,
I was gonna say Emancipation, where I started to imagine like the SG1 writers room where they're like, hey, do you guys remember that next gen episode Code of Honor? You mean the one everyone hates? Yeah, let's do that.
yeah.
It's
But
like
let's
the
do it
exact
better.
same episode.
Well, okay, so
SG1, I'm going to be honest. The only Stargate I've ever seen is the motion picture.
And the motion picture's good.
Vincent, you would truly appreciate this. You it's on Prime. You got to watch it.
Okay,
See, one of
all
the
right.
things-
I'm going to go ahead and put it in my queue, but I have to tell you, I'm on my last season of Warehouse 13, which you also told me to watch, and I'm like, oh, I fucking love that show.
Isn't it good?
Oh,
See, that's from the same time. That's the golden age of Sci-Fi Channel. Warehouse 13, along with Eureka, and that was when Battlestar Galactica was on there too. That was the golden age of sci-fi. It was just so much good TV on there. But the thing about SG1 I like, and I
just went
appreciate,
ahead
is
and
that
posted
they're
it. Jeff
very
tells us that next show is at 9 p.m. Eastern, so go on for as long as you want.
Nice.
Okay, we're going on till 9. I hope you don't have plans. Anybody? Do you?
Well,
I
I'm
gotta
gonna
get
eat.
dinner eventually.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we'll
but no
take it
hurry.
to 7:30, maybe.
So that's 6:30 my time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that.
When's that my
Okay.
time? Was that 4:30 my time? Yeah, that's fine.
All right, we'll take it out for
Here,
another
just
half hour.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna step away for a moment and just let my mom know that I'm gonna run a little late.
Yeah.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem.
Alright.
I'll go on about the joys of SG1.
All right. Sounds
So-
good.
Yes, please do.
The thing I like about it is that it's very self-aware. They will subtly break the fourth wall to like go tongue in cheek. It's like one of the jokes is that, do you know how long we had to work to MacGyver this thing together, talking about getting the gate programming to work? So that implies that Richard Dean Anderson is in a show in a universe that MacGyver exists. So
Okay, with that one, you've convinced me. Okay, hang on.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
because
I
I'm
mean, the
watching
first few
Prime right
seasons when it
now.
was
I
on
have a
Showtime-
movie running in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and put SG1 into my queue.
Yeah, like I said, they're very subtle about it, but when they do break the fourth wall, it's like they even, they make fun of themselves. I mean, a lot, but it's like they'll even go, "That's Star Trek." When they
Nice. That's
Simpsons references all over the place.
Oh,
You'll
Jesus.
dig it the most.
We
Yeah.
haven't even started on that. I mean, that's the one thing. Well, one thing that you and I greatly have in common is, watching a show that can take the piss out of itself
Yeah.
and actually have fun and have all these in jokes. And I love stuff like that. And yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I mean-
so yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you'll dig it. Even when they reference themselves too, it's like later is there anything we could get this work like seaweed, because they did an episode that like one of the worst episodes where there was some seaweed power source that they used to power the gate, so they make fun of that later. It's like, don't even go there. So they do that a lot, especially in the season where General gave up. They self-reference a lot, and they make a lot of fun of the stuff. It's like there's even in the universe there's a TV show that called Wormhole Extreme, but you'll get to all that. It's so good. It's just fun. But the first few seasons of it, when it was on Showtime, yes, it has titties, but it's worse. So when Sci-Fi got it, it was like, wow, okay, they're actually treating it like it's Farscape. So,
All right, I'm back. By the way.
okay, welcome back. Hi, I was just finished.
Oh, okay.
And Raptor mentioned Caprica. I don't know if any of you watched that show. That was actually
Heard of it.
Yeah, it was actually an intriguing premise, but it ventured. It ended up becoming, at least to me, it was too talky and too soap opera-y. I mean, it
See,
was
and
a
that's
good
what-
show, but
I
That's
never
where it all.
watched it because I was all the promos for it made it look like, okay, so we're doing Battlestar Galactica on the CW.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the last episode when I'm not going to spoil it because nobody's going to fucking watch it. But the last episode, during the pyramid match in Caprica City, is pretty fucking amazing when they actually bring the Cylons in, and the Cylons do what they were built to do, which was basically murder motherfuckers. They were built as a cybernetic army, and that's what they become. But this is like 40 years before the fall, and before they go haywire and start killing everybody. But when they're under human control, it's like boom, and they just waste all these terrorists and shit, and it's really cool to watch. But yeah, to have to sit through 12 episodes to get to that payoff, yeah, it's not worth it.
Mm.
But the soundtrack was fucking excellent. Bear McCreary, oh,
he's great at everything.
he brings it. He brings it.
I think he did the soundtrack for Defiance too, which is a great soundtrack. That's one. Unfortunately, I think one of the things that killed that show was that they were trying to parallel it with an MMO, right? And
Yeah, they were.
And they really underestimated, because none of them were really gamers. They underestimated the crowdsourced autism at digesting content in an MMO. That someone will complete what you are hoping for the season break. They'll do that in a day.
Hang on, my
Yeah.
dog's barking at me. Hang on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
And yeah, Raptor, there was another one. There was Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome. I don't know if anyone has watched that one.
Yeah, I watched that one because that was like a prequel, and that was good.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah, it was a bit on the CW side. But there was a lot more action in it. And truth be told, I think they told their story a little bit better than they did in Caprica. Especially when they jump into
All
where
right, I'm back.
that one Battlestar is destroyed, and they have to escape from the Cylons, and they have to actually go inside the destroyed Battlestar. That was pretty tense. I enjoyed that. But yeah, it was good, but it wasn't. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. I mean, the first series, you can't improve on that. And I know they're trying to, because they're trying to do another reboot, and I hope it fails. I hope they don't pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, still the best about Battlestar Galactica was the miniseries they did at the launch.
Yes,
That was...
absolutely. That's I actually had that on disc, but the rest of the series I just watched through streaming. And there are a few episodes that are really, really, really good, and there are a few that are dogs. But the fourth season is where it kind of collapsed on itself. There was like,
it should have ended.
Yeah, it should have ended at season 3.
Yeah. See, there's a thing Rick and I joke about on the shows often, is that, the 5th season is usually the death of a show. If it can get through the 5th season, then it's okay. But if it ended on the 5th season, just don't watch the 5th season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because like one of the...
Oh, wait.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm of the opinion that SG-1 should have probably ended at season 5.
Yeah, I mean, but it kind of... I mean, I know that you walked away in the last season, which is a shame, because that's when a lot of the self-awareness and tongue-in-cheek kind of jumped in. Where they're kind of like, it was the, okay, we've been kind of taking the piss out of ourselves subtly for the last 9 years. Now we're going to kind of, really be very self-aware. And,
right.
Yeah, and that's, it's kind of, once you're right. Once it got past that, no, that was Atlantis you were talking about with the 5th season. That, yeah, when it got past that too. I mean, they ended the series very well, so I'll give them that, because they knew they weren't coming back.
Yeah, and, SG-1 I ducked out like beginning of season 9.
Yeah, you should give it another shot.
Yeah, well,
I mean, Beau Bridges. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? And then you get, Claudia Black, and
I keep seeing this this one, because you watch Prime and stuff is recommended to you. And I was wondering, both of you, since you're Stargate fans, SG-1 Universe.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't hear
And
good things about Universe.
yeah, and I'm looking at it, because it has Robert Carlyle, who I like. He's a really good
No,
actor.
no,
But
he's good in it. So's Lou Diamond Phillips. Everybody individually is good in it. The problem is what they did with Stargate Universe was this. So you have a series, two series, a franchise that is generally light, pretty tongue in cheek, very, as I
Yeah.
keep saying, very self aware. And then you say, oh, you know what? People really like that remake of Battlestar Galactica. Let's do that, but in the Stargate universe. And it's very CW, very heavy, very dark, very
ooh,
just the most obnoxious tweens on the planet.
Mm.
And yeah, don't watch Universe.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with Universe.
okay, yeah, and I just brought it up because it keeps coming up on my. Since you watch
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, we recommend blah blah blah
Well,
blah
yeah,
blah. blah.
of course they do. Yeah, with that one, of course they do. I mean, I haven't looked. No, okay, I'll say this. I know for a fact that Ronald D. Moore didn't write on it because then it would have actually been good. It was like if you had a bunch of people who have understudied under Moore and just didn't understand him. You kind of like
Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy with
didn't.
Star Wars. She worked with
Yeah,
Lucas for years, but doesn't really understand Star Wars or
Yeah.
and
Indiana
they
Jones or
they
any
they don't
film
understand
property.
Ronald D. Moore, because they don't smoke as much as he does.
Right. See,
Because
that's the thing.
if you watch Battlestar Galactica, everybody smokes frequently and
Yeah.
often, and
Mm.
it's basically a show about chain smoking, and which is why I love it.
That's true.
Except what
It's
do they
like
call
watching
them?
any David Lynch film from the 80s.
Seriously, it's what they don't call them cigarettes; they call them fumarillos. There you go.
Yeah, even the original Battlestar Galactica was always giving different like terms for like stuff that we would, just regular stuff that we would see around, in real life.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was like it was centons.
the whole time
and-
thing, yeah,
yeah.
it's like centons and urons and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that they went a
You
bit
mean
too
seconds
far
and
with that.
years? What about Daons?
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
It's gay on is what it is.
Weekons.
Oh, dude, speaking of Galactica 1980.
Oh god, that was terrible.
Oh, we don't talk about 1980.
Dr. Z.
Oh, jeez. Wasn't
Okay,
it literally Cousin Oliver? in
yes,
Battlestar Galactica?
now you've got Cousin Oliver in a spacesuit running around in your head.
Yeah.
I
So,
just that was a repressed memory. Thank you.
I only went through it once, and it was when MeTV was playing 1980. They went through the original Battlestar Galactica and then played 1980, and yeah, I only went through 1980 once.
Yeah, I went
yeah.
through it in 1980, and that was a repressed memory.
Yeah.
The only good things
You're welcome.
they had the flying bikes from Megaforce, which was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
that was,
And yeah. Oh, and everybody out there, Megaforce, one of the greatest bad movies ever made. You need to fucking watch it, seriously.
If you're a
It's
fan
amazing.
of Jean-Claude Van Damme or any of the Chuck Norris invasion movies, you're just you're just a teetotaler. You don't understand the true magnificence that is Megaforce.
Seriously, Barry Bostwick's hair alone should have gotten a starring credit. It
Well,
was.
now I gotta look up Megaforce.
Oh my god!
And Percy had hair, so
Yes.
Why does he look like the guy from the Paper Chase? In
No, because the guy in the Paper Chase was in The Executioner, which was a wonderful family film. No. From James Glickenhaus.
also
the guy
has
who
Persis
gave up Hollywood
Kambata in
to,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Persis had hair, so that was
Yeah.
It's.
I'm also thinking
it
of
is-
was it Warrior of the Lost World? Sugar.
Yes, with Robert Ginty. He's the gintiest. Yes.
Here, hang on. My dog's barking at me again. Gotta let her out.
Oh, Gajira, seriously, you had me at Barry Bostwick. So find
Right.
it, and if you can find a copy on disc on eBay, buy it because it's worth it. Seriously,
I swear
yeah.
that dog just came
This-
upstairs just to bark at me.
Okay, you have Barry Bostwick and you have Persis Kambata, and you have a bunch of other, 80s actors that you see. Henry Silva plays the bad guy. Henry Silva is the ultimate bad guy.
Edward
And
Mulhare.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But the thing of it is, it's directed by Hal Needham. He was the king of stuntmen in the
Yep.
70s and 80s, and this film shows it. You will never see as many explosions, like getting ramp jumps and cars flipping over as you will in this film. It is You must buy it. It's a must own.
I mean, my favorite thing, the flying motorcycle that launches ST's rockets. I mean, how do you go wrong?
Oh, the part where they're running through the test. Edwin Mulhare's sitting there watching, debating on whether he's going to hire Megaforce, which is a futuristic mercenary unit, and they have these motorcycles and they're just pulling wheelies and launching Estes model rockets off the handlebars, and they're blowing up these huge balloons, and it's just, oh my god. I don't want
And
to.
that tank Jeep thing of theirs,
Yes, I don't want to guess how much cocaine they were actually doing through this.
all of it.
No, they didn't do all of it
It
because
was the
that was Maximum Overdrive by Stephen
Okay,
King,
yeah,
which had a $10
yeah.
million budget, but $9 million was spent on cocaine.
God, I love that story.
I'm a little concerned. I looked up Megaforce at IMDb, and they're also suggesting Xanadu. More
Oh,
like this Xanadu.
that's because one of the actors,
The guy from Xanadu is in there.
Michael
Michael
Beck,
Beck.
I think. Yeah,
Yep.
he was in the Warriors as well, and yeah, he was a good actor.
Dallas was in the Warriors.
Yes, he was. And yeah, he was in Xanadu, which is an underrated movie. Seriously.
really
I kind
is.
of want to see Xanadu, but I also heard it's not very good.
No, it's not very good, but it has Gene Kelly, and you should watch it anyway.
Yeah,
Just for Gene Kelly.
Just
yeah.
for Gene Kelly, yes.
right. Exactly. 9 million on cocaine and the rest on a Green Goblin semi. Absolutely. And Emilio Estevez, who was probably working for Scale at the time.
And oh my god, I can't remember the name of that guy. He played in
Oh shit.
Better Call Saul. Oh shit. And also Yeardley Smith was in it.
Yeah.
She played a newlywed, and yeah, you can hear the Lisa Simpson in her voice.
She
So.
was on an episode of Mama's Family, Yeardley Smith. And yeah,
Oh my god.
when she talks, it's like, yeah, you can hear Lisa Simpson. That must just be her voice.
And no, Lisa Simpson with a southern accent. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
If I choose to get married.
And Jeff's right too. You also had Olivia Newton-John when she was prime spank material.
Okay, dude. She was prime up until pretty much up until the day. Dude,
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful woman.
And a delight.
Oh yes,
Delightful
absolutely.
woman. Not like that Kelly Bundy chick.
Oh Jesus. Oh, we had some fun with her the last couple of days. Yeah. For
Is that on your end?
For those of you who don't know, yeah, just check her Twitter feed.
Yeah.
I can't because she blocked me. I think Twitter is an exercise in don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Never meet your heroes.
You know, I used to think I was like kind of overly sensitive, and then I went on Twitter and realized, oh, apparently I have a thick skin compared to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. Because people who are listening to this show, they, most of them follow me. Most of them know what they're getting in for,
Right.
and most of them know that I follow and are followed by quite a few notable celebrities. Although not any A-listers or anything like that, but if you heard their names, you'd know who they are. And the people that I interact with, who are in Hollywood, they're I don't want to say they're normal. I have
Mm,
conversations with them, in DMs. I talk with them, and we have, really good conversations on a variety of subjects. Not just
yeah,
politics, but films and real life,
yeah,
basically. I mean, please, I've given recipe tips and sent recipes to these people, and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you. This is amazing." And I look at these people, and then I see Kelly Bundy, and I see Bette Midler, and I see fucking George Clooney, and all these people. And I'm like,
yeah,
please, the Robert Heinlein said, the United States is the only place where athletes and celebrities are considered people of importance, and he's right. I don't know.
Well, it's like, and I certainly hope that I gain like at least a little bit of popularity on YouTube. Because I'd like to turn that into like where I could live off of that revenue. But I don't want to get too big because I don't want it to go to my head. Because then who knows what the hell I would turn out to be.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. That's partially the reason why I got my blue check was to, number one, be able to, do this,
Right.
because Restream won't allow you to transmit on X and do
Mm,
webcasts
yeah.
unless you have a blue check. And number two, the edit feature, which I haven't had to use yet because I've been religious about going over my tweets before I actually send them.
Right.
But there's also the option of monetizing and hopefully making some money from it. Which
Yeah.
I hope to do. I know I'm not going to make a living from it, but it would be nice to to have some. I see a nice bottle of wine and $120, $130 in the store. Oh, okay, yeah, I can get that, no problem. So
Right.
if Twitter funds my wine and cigarette bills, yeah, I'll be happy.
Yeah. It's like the only reason I would monetize on Twitter is if it would pay for itself. Because otherwise, it's like, I don't want to put that drain on my finances.
And Ordy's back. Sorry about that, brother.
And I'm back. Nah, that's all right.
Where do
But
you
It's
live?
yeah,
actually it's weird. It's the second time I've ever gotten a BSD on Windows 11, so that was weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
but yeah, monetization for Twitter. I know I see some people. Oh my God, vapid, brain dead thoughts. Just flaunting their tits in front of God and everybody, and they're making
Yeah.
$11,000 a month.
Yeah.
And me, I'd be happy. Like I said, making wine money and being able to gas up my car,
Right.
and that's all I'm
It
really looking for.
it
You
really
know,
doesn't take a lot to start paying for itself. I mean, Vincent, I'm sure you could do it. Janelle, you probably could too. It's it's one thing I've noticed is that since my 3-month suspension and then
Mhm.
coming back to a 7-day right after it, I am
Jeez.
Already, I have never met anyone on Twitter who has been suspended or yeah, as much as
I
you.
think I'm beating Gay Patriot and
No,
yeah, I think I have beat him.
you have beaten him, and
Okay.
this dude would get banned. The Gay Patriot would get banned at the drop of a hat, and Orty gets banned before the hat hits the floor.
You think about
You get
dropping the
on my
hat.
nerves, and I don't like your hat.
But I'm seriously throttled since because before I was pulling in, I, I was doing okay,
Yeah.
and my last 2 payouts have been just basically double the subscription or the premium. I do the 16. Um, but yeah, I think it's worth it.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not getting huge
absolutely.
traffic since I've come back, and it's it's the being able to tweet longer, promote myself on the shows. It's like your
Yeah.
feed is on my feed right now, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
worth it.
one of the two things that I really enjoy about it is, one, I get to edit my tweets, which, like I said, I don't really do. But
Mm.
number two is the ability to write a more in-depth tweet because I'm able to write longer tweets, which
Yeah, I
helps,
mean,
Right.
when I'm throwing out the now is the winter of our discontent speech. I can actually post the whole one instead of just part of it.
Mm.
the first thing,
Hashtag Shakespeare post.
right,
Yay.
the first thing I did when I got the blue check and I could do a long tweet was I did the bit of Wilford Brimley from Strangers with Candy,
Oh Jesus!
the retardation one.
Oh my God!
They don't own the. They don't. And while they're not as
Oh Jesus!
it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't take much for it to pay for itself.
Yeah.
You
Well, I know Twitter keeps guilt tripping me like, hey, you had 14.3K impressions on your post in the last 7 days. I'm like, that's great. I'm still not buying yet.
No, seriously, I think you could definitely benefit from it. You as a content creator on YouTube, you can definitely put the word out and get a lot more people,
Yeah.
involved. And this is just me speaking, but
Yeah.
I think it would be good for you. Definitely.
Yeah, it's like
Me, I don't have anything to pimp except this podcast,
right.
and I'm nowhere near, at your level, as far as YouTube stuff.
Oh, you
because I
got
don't even do YouTube.
followers, Vin.
Yeah, and I've got followers, but I wasn't looking for followers.
Right.
I'm just doing this, because I enjoy doing it, because I enjoy talking to my friends about things
Right.
that I enjoy talking about.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it would be good for you. I think if I were you, I would go ahead. I would take the leap.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I think I'll think about it a little bit, because these kinds of decisions I'll think about for like months sometimes.
Yeah, see,
I
the thing
highly
is,
recommend
though,
it for anybody, really.
because they went ahead and they changed the payments plan. You can do it monthly now. You don't have to pay for
Yeah.
a year, which is what I
Yeah.
initially thought I had to do. And I'm like,
Right.
ooh, 130, 140 bucks. Yeah, I could do it, but yeah, I don't know. And then I
Should
look at the thing
I?
that's like
Yeah.
monthly. I'm like, okay, fuck, I'm there.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even cancel it when I was suspended, so that way, they couldn't do any shenanigans when I came back.
Oh, yeah.
So, that way I just kept it rolling. So, it was kind of like a subtle message to him. It's like, oh, I'll be back, motherfuckers.
Oh, I will be back. except you gotta say it like Ben Sisko.
I will be back.
Probably some of the best acting was between him and Eddington.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the argument. When he's in orbit of the planet and he launches the trilithium torpedoes. And
You betrayed your uniform.
Oh,
Yeah.
that line in particular. Oh my God. And
It's like, Major, shut that thing off.
and when you get a double take from Worf, it's like, sir. It's like when you got Worf double taking, yeah, you've gone into realms heretofore unknown.
Yeah. Well, no, you got both
Picard
Worf
never
and
did
Kira.
this.
You've got Worf and Kira. Worf, who will reenact a genocide on the holodeck, and Kira, who is a terrorist, who by any means necessary. And both of them are turned around, going, "Did he just what?"
It's like, you what, mate? You what? But yeah, definitely. Oh my God.
And I'm like, holy crap, he actually did.
And see, the thing is, though, Avery Brooks, he doesn't act anymore now. He's a professor.
He's a college professor.
He's a professor of music at Princeton, which is not too far from me. I'm half tempted to drive up to campus just to see if I can see him.
Oh man.
I'm sorely tempted. And I will just walk around campus, and if I see him, I will ask him for his autograph and tell him he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Nice.
Absolutely. Not only that, he is the greatest thing since torn up bread.
Oh, exactly. And people, if you haven't seen his early work, like Spencer and A Man Called Hawk, they are both on Tubi, and they are both amazing because he not only uses the immaculate diction that he uses in Deep Space Nine, but he also gives amazing amounts of violence.
Oh man.
And I'm not just talking violence. I'm talking violence with a capital V. Because like Hawk, his favorite carry piece was a 357 Colt Python with an 8-inch barrel, nickel plated, mind you. But yeah, that was a Hollywood gun, and he didn't hesitate to kill motherfuckers right and left with that. It was something to see.
He was the inspiration from Mr. Universe and Serenity saying, "Oh, you bring me the very best violence."
Absolutely. Oh, I got that gif. I need to post it. Oh, dude, the way he says it. You always bring me the best violence.
Somebody said that to me once. I was touched. I was like, "That's the nicest thing anybody said to me on Twitter."
Okay. Since Janelle has some family-oriented stuff she needs to take care of, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna call it a night since it's coming up on 7:30.
God, this was fun.
Yeah, it was. It
This was fun,
amazing.
yeah.
And
We gotta do
yeah,
this again.
oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I want to make it a regular thing.
Yeah.
But
Just let me know.
Absolutely. But Janelle, if you could tell everybody where they can find you and where they can see you.
So you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, even Instagram at Janelle Waz, JANELLEWAZ. On my YouTube channel, I talk about Star Trek, I talk about retro video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. Sometimes I even
Tea.
make tea.
Talks
So
about tea.
go sub on my YouTube channel. Support my stuff if you wish. But I'm just happy to have you over there commenting on my stuff.
Boy,
Outstanding.
I'd like to get my hands on that Earl Grey. I could teach him a thing or two about tea.
Ooh. Like, you take that back, Garrick. You take that back.
That sounds so sensual when he says it. Yeah, I'm going lots of S's. Ordy, where can we find you, my friend?
Let's see. We're not going to try and do juxtaposition tonight. Rick's still feeling under the weather. So next you will hear from my dulcet tones will be on Manorama, Rancor Steve's Rumble channel. We'll be doing that Tuesday night. Wednesday, you can find me on Rick and Ordy talking about whatever the fuck it is we talk about. Thursday this week is a Culture Shift week. So you'll find me with entertainment writer Brad Slager on Thursday night, Friday off, Saturday. Yeah. So this is it for me for the week. So
awesome.
Wow. You can also find me as Ordnance Packard on X. I am contractually obliged to call it X as long as my account isn't suspended. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And I would really like to be a guest on the Culture Shift, just saying. But
oh yeah, we gotta make that happen.
But ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on X at YesThatVCharles. You can find me here every Sunday on the Vincent Charles Project, and you can also find me with Ordy on Tuesday as I join him and Ranker Steve in doing Manorama and Gojira. Fun show. Thank you so much for showing up. And Janelle told us that she was having some friends show up, and I'm glad you made the effort, and I hope you were entertained. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it a night, and have a very good rest of your Sunday evening, and I hope your week turns out awesome. Ordy, Janelle, thank you so much for coming on, and it's always a pleasure.
For having
me.
Thanks for having me.
Again. Yeah. Thank you both so much. And ladies and gentlemen,